is amazing. He is the one who created this awesome, amazing, like bar none. There's nothing better that we know of to keep track of your clients, presenters, friends, contacts, everything. Like he's going to break it all down, and it's just like, it's a gem. So just taking the time to be here is so awesome for your business because he's going to blow your mind.
Thank you so much. That was an awesome introduction. Okay, let me, one thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to mute everybody. Wait, where is this?
Sure.
You guys are going to be muted, and I may have to jump out and mute every once in a while if something distracting is happening, but if you feel the spirit move you, I want you to know you can unmute and say something. That's totally cool. It's just to keep the distractions down, but I will do a Q&A at the end. Okay. So a couple things. First of all, I encourage you guys to turn your cameras on. I know it's 9 o'clock and some of you guys are like in your pajamas, but it will help you get more out of it because you're going to be accountable to everyone else on the call, which is great. It also adds energy to the call. My name is Eric Johnson, and I am the creator and CEO of Teamzy, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight. What you may not know is Teamzy's about 1.5 years old, and we're now in 15 networks, and we're just brand new to Younique. And super excited to partner with Younique because your guys' culture and community is a perfect fit for what we're doing. And it shows because we're growing rapidly just in the last week with Younique. So I'm excited to talk to you guys as leaders in this organization. What I'm going to show you tonight is I'm going to show you Teamzy, which is the most simple and elegant tool you'll ever use to build your business. What you guys as leaders are going to love about it is not only that, but how easy it is to duplicate with new people coming onto your team, right? It's just going to take a lot of that heavy lifting out for you guys. But beyond showing you Teamzy, I'm also going to teach you a little bit about the philosophy of relationship marketing that underpins Teamzy, because it's based not just on software, but a way of doing business, an approach, a heart for this business. Some of that will resonate really strongly with some of you guys. Then I'll take you into Teamzy. We'll set it up, which is super easy. We'll do a power hour. I'll show you how you can do a power hour every day in like 20 minutes, which would be like, connecting with 20 people every single day, creating 10 conversations, inviting people to the business, how to follow up on those invites all the way through the system until they become presenters on the team. I'll go through all of that. And it's a lot of content. It's going to be like you guys are taking a sip of water from a fire hose at some points. So I apologize for that. Just take as many notes as you can. We are recording the call and we'll do a Q&A at the end. Okay, cool? All right, let's jump right in. All right, so I'm gonna pull up my presentation. Some of this will be review for you, Jess. So this is what I wanna talk to you guys first about, which is how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss, okay? Now, if you've seen any of my trainings on this, you'll know that it's never the same training twice, because the spirit's there, the philosophy's there, but I never know what I'm gonna say till I say it. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about relationship marketing. First, let me just give you a little bit about my backstory. My background is I am a professional coach and a business consultant. That's what I've been doing for the past 15 years of my life, is helping other people build their business. And I worked in the real estate industry mostly, focusing on helping those people become successful, and worked with tons of people. And all the principles that I'm going to teach you tonight are age-old principles, but they're also principles that I applied with all of my clients to help them build their businesses. When I became a network marketer myself, I realized that we had no systems like this. Other industries do. Other industries have platforms that their people can use, but network marketing didn't. The ones that it did have were made from the opposing philosophy, the opposite of relationship marketing. It was more about the find them, fleece them, and forget them approach. Make sense? So we built Teamzy out of necessity. We built it because at the time we were building and we just knew there wasn't anything like it. Okay, let me jump back in. So what is relationship marketing? What is relationship marketing? Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. Okay, a lead generation system. And that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. And that's like the Wikipedia definition of lead generation system, guys. I'm not going deep on you here, but I want you to understand that when people say it's all about relationships, it's not just like a warm and fuzzy hug that's my business. This is a system. Building relationships, there's a system to it that actually creates leads for your business. Does that make sense? And it's just so much more rewarding. I want you guys to know that at the get-go, because you need to have a mindset shift. Your business is not marketing, these amazing self-pampering products. Your business is lead generation. That's your business. You're in the lead generation business. And I know I'm talking to the leaders here, so I know you guys know this. So please just forgive me for all the things that are super obvious to you. But the bottom line is, no matter how busy we are in our day, if we're not doing the activities that generate new leads, we're not building our business, right? And so we need to get everyone in the mindset that they're in the lead generation business. Even the brand new people need to know they're in the lead generation business. Okay. So here's an important principle I want you to get. That's this: developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So your business is lead generation. You generate leads so that you can develop and deepen relationships with those people. Make sense? Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn relationships into advocates by investing time in providing outstanding service. We're going to turn relationships into advocates by investing time in providing outstanding service. So you guys know what an advocate is. You're advocates. Everyone's advocates, right? When you love something, don't you want to tell everybody about it? I mean, that's just the way we're wired. And what we're going to do with everyone you know is we're going to turn them into advocates. And this is the cool thing about this is, traditionally in this industry, people say, churn through the people you know and throw away everyone who's not interested. With the relationship marketing approach, we pick out the people who are interested and we continue developing everyone who's not into advocates. Pretty cool, right? Okay, let's keep going. Here's another important principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. The cool thing about this principle is, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work, okay? Are there jerks in this industry? Yes. Are there people in this industry that are successful that are not trustworthy people? Absolutely. But this system won't work for those people, because the relationship building only works if you can build trust with people. But trust makes the work fun, because you don't need to convince or sell people. You can get right to helping them, even if they only trust you or know you a tiny bit. Have you guys noticed the difference? Absolutely. And also, trust takes away that icky salesperson feeling. Like, I don't want to be the icky salesperson. You guys probably don't either. And you for sure know that the new people coming on your team are afraid of being that icky salesperson. But if we teach them how to build trust, that's not an issue. Also, you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no's, you're going for yeses. You're going for yeses. It's a totally different approach. It's a different mindset. It's a different feeling in your gut as you work your business. Okay. So how do you build trust? How do you actually build trust? Now, the cool thing about trust is it's something that you can systemize and build, right? There's basically 4 essential ingredients. 4 essential ingredients to building trust. All right, let's go through them. I'll go through them really quickly, and then I'll come back and break them out for you guys. The first one is chemistry. Chemistry. The second ingredient is character. Character. Third is competence. Competence. And the fourth is consistency. Consistency. I checked my microphone because I thought something was wrong. I forgot that I'm overcoming a cold right now, so my voice doesn't sound like me. It's freaking me out. Does that ever happen to you guys? Okay. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. So let's break these out for you. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? And I think this one's probably self-evident to you guys. It's not a big deal. I won't go too deep into it. But it is very hard to trust somebody that you don't like, right? It's difficult. So it's important that we find that common ground, that we ask questions, and that we figure out what it is about someone that we have in common. Okay. The second is character. Character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Now, one thing I'd love you to notice about this definition of character is it's not something you just have. A lot of us think we have character. Character is something you do. It's something you do. It's not something you have. This is a huge thing that we have to understand, because as human beings, we often get upset if somebody questions our character. Have you noticed that? And I'm guilty of it too. Or we feel like our integrity is being questioned or something like that. How dare you? The truth is once we understand character is something that we need to do, that's never a question. It's, oh, wow, I obviously have not demonstrated care for this person and they don't know where my heart is. See the difference? We need to be doing this constantly. And here's one thing I want to say about this. I could easily give you an hour-long training on character. I could. But just think of it. Everything you do, every conversation you have, every post that you put on social media, every message that you send somebody, are you demonstrating care? Is that message, is that post, is everything about them? And if it is about you, is it so that they can relate to you? Make sense? That's how you demonstrate your character in everything you do. It becomes the spice that's in everything you do. Okay, the third is competence. Competence. This is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, this is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. I know there's like two parts to this, and why is that? That's because there's two parts to this business. Are you competent as a presenter of these products? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you consult me as a customer? Can you train me as a new person on your team? And are you a business person? Are you someone I can trust to mentor me in this business opportunity? I need to know, are you competent? Are you demonstrating, are you showing me your competence? Now, a lot of times you'll hear people say, hey, if you're new, just fake it till you make it, right? Have you guys heard people say that? And I encourage you guys, I know you guys aren't new, but I encourage you with your teams, don't let them fake it. Don't fake it till you make it, because this is about trust, remember? The truth is a new person in this business doesn't have to fake it because they are part of your team. They just need to demonstrate the competence of their team. They need to communicate who the people they bring in are going to be plugging into. And then as they build their own competence, they can show their own competence. But in the beginning, that's the cool thing about this business and this community, is they can plug into the competence of the team. So chemistry, character, competence. Okay, those are the big three. Now, before I move on, I just want to give you a principle about these. And that's this. When people are thinking of doing business with you, they only care about three things. You guys may have heard this before. A lot of the great teachers teach this. They only care about three things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? That's what people care about. Now, they may not vocalize it. It may be subconscious, but this is what they're looking for. And one thing I want you guys to know about this, just a little aside before I move on, is all objections that people raise come from these three questions. At a subconscious level, all objections come from one or a combination of these three questions. So how do you answer and overcome an objection? Obviously, you can be a pro, you overcome the objections. But you need to know that where there are objections, there's still room to build trust. There's still room to invest in that relationship. Does that make sense? Okay. The fourth is consistency. It gets its own page because it's really the most important thing, right? Is consistency. Let me just adjust this. I'm in San Diego, so the sun is setting. Just so you guys, one day I'll take a picture of this view I have, but it's like the mountains, and then the sun setting over it, and then behind it, about 12 miles away, but you can see it, is the ocean. Gorgeous, right? So now I just want you guys to get that picture so you know the sun coming on my face, what it is. Okay, consistency. Let's talk about it. Consistency. Here's an important principle I want you to get about this. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. All right. I actually pulled this principle from one of my favorite books. Where is it? Here it is. If you guys have never read this book, I highly recommend you put it on your list. It's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. Such a great book. It talks about the 6 laws of social persuasion. I have it on the screen for you if you couldn't see that little tiny thumbnail picture. By Bob Cialdini. Now, this book, by the way, for those of you guys who like videos better, he did a TED Talk and he goes over this. So you can look up that, okay? But here's what I want you guys to talk about this. One of the things he talks about is that the desire to be consistent is one of the dominating, motivating factors for human beings. Like it motivates us more than most other things, right? When we were kids, they called it peer pressure, right? Like we wanted to be consistent with the people around us. We would do anything to do that. And it continues. It continues all the way through your life. When people see somebody being consistent, they really respect and desire it for themselves. That's why you guys as leaders have followers. People who admire you and look up to you. Some of you guys look up to each other because you're all at different levels, right? And you admire the consistency you see in that person. And some of you were driven to earn your way into this group as a Black status leader because you saw what other people were doing and respected it so much, and you wanted that too. The same thing works for all people. When people see consistency, they respect it and they desire it for themselves. If you want to build trust, this is the key. Yeah, chemistry is important. Character is huge. Competence is huge, but consistency is key. How many of you guys have kids? How important is being a consistent parent to building trust with your children? This is the key to everything, right? Now, the cool thing about this, because it has this attraction force to it, not only does consistency build trust, but it brings new people to you like moths to a flame, which is so cool. So it actually becomes part of your marketing strategy, being consistent, right? I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Let me just give you, as Zig Ziglar would say, a checkup from the neck up. Are you consistent? And usually I'll ask you, are you product of the product and all that stuff? But today I just want to ask you this. Are you consistent with your relationships? I know that you guys are good about posting on social media and things like that, right? Doing your reach outs. But are you as consistent with your relationships as you are with everything else in your life? Are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are about, posting on social and doing different things, doing live videos, all those cool things? But are you actually as consistent about staying in touch with people one-on-one?
I can definitely say, sorry to interrupt, but I can totally say that I thought I was so consistent in building relationships and just follow up in general and staying on top of things. And when I started using Teamzy and digging into Messenger and reaching out to people that I thought I just talked to 2 weeks ago and seeing that I hadn't spoke with them since January or December or October. And I was thinking yeah, I'm in touch with that person. I'm good. We're good. She likes my stuff and I follow up with her, and I wasn't. So I think we all, once you dig into this, will see that I've been talking to other leaders too. They're yeah, I'm consistent. And then they're no, I'm not. I thought that I really was, but I'm not being consistent because it's just really, I feel I don't know anybody who doesn't have some type of system implemented that is very consistent.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just interrupt to say that because the last time we did this training, I was yeah, whatever, I'm totally consistent. But after we started using it more, this is the biggest game changer for me.
Awesome.
Okay,
I love hearing that. Cool. Well, guys, she's leading us in perfectly. I'm not even paying her for this, really, seriously. But here's our principle. People won't believe you till they see you. And what do I mean by this? People won't believe you till they see you. What I mean is you guys have, those of you that I know, you have awesome social media presences. You got great pages and videos and followers and likes and all that engagement. But there are tons of people watching you that aren't engaging with you, and they don't really believe you mean you. When you're inviting people, they don't really know that you really mean them because they haven't heard from you maybe since high school or since whatever. So the truth is that there are people watching that want to be part of what you're doing. And it's going to take actually connecting with them. Okay. Which brings me to my next point. That's that relationship building is a contact sport. It's a contact sport, which means you need to be in regular contact with people if you want to have a relationship with them. That's the bottom line. You have to spend time with people if you want a relationship with them. But I know that your time is scarce, so we need to be efficient in how we do that, right? But here's your important principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, I just want to give you guys a quick example of this. Wait, let me look at your faces because I haven't seen you guys in a while. Hey, everyone. Okay, how many of you guys have ever received a note card from somebody, like a handwritten card, from a significant other or a friend, and there was a message in there handwritten that was really thoughtful and you had an emotional response to it? Did anyone ever get a note like that? Yeah, hopefully everyone's got a few of those. So let me ask you a question. When you get a card like that in the mail and it's handwritten and you're like, or somebody gives it to you and you're like, wow, that was really cool. Sometimes you may even shed a couple tears. I mean, it's just like amazing to get one of those, right? When you're done, do you just throw it away in the trash can? Are you guys able to, is anyone like that? Every once in a while I have somebody goes, yeah, I just recycle those. But usually you save them, right? You have a special place where you put it, like a special drawer or cabinet or box. Like my wife and I bought these really pretty boxes at Marshall's, and there was 3 of them and we filled them. Now we don't know what to do because you can never find matching stuff, right? Like we've saved all these cards. You save them for years. The cool thing about a card like that is not only does it have an emotional impact when you read it, but it has a lingering impact, which means you guys could go pick up those cards again tonight and read them and still have an emotional response to them. That's how meaningful they are. In fact, a lot of times when people pass away and they're going through your stuff, you find their notes and letters, right? That's the thing they've saved their entire life. Why is that? Now, when you get a postcard from the dentist that says, happy birthday, does that go in the special place? It doesn't go in the special place, right? That goes in the other place, the trash can. Or how about any real estate agents on the call, by the way? Just before I slam real estate agents, because I love you guys. But you get the postcard from your neighborhood real estate agent about the neighbor's house that they're listing. Does that one get saved special? No, you throw it away. What's the difference? The difference is that personal note card represents somebody's most valuable thing. The most valuable thing that they have, their time. They invested their time. Not a lot of time. How long does it take to write a card? 5 minutes? But they gave you that time, their time, undivided attention. Undivided attention. And it's so precious, it can't be thrown away. You save it forever. Now that's 5 minutes. Do you realize that you can invest 10 seconds in somebody every 3 months and make a huge impact in their life? I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a second, but just keep that in mind. By the way, just a little side note, you should be writing notes to cards to people as part of your business. In Teamzy, when you log your different communication types, a greeting card is one of them. So huge, because here's one thing I will tell you. I could do a training on this and you guys would sign up, right? What's the one piece of marketing collateral that you can send out in your business that someone will never throw away? I just told you, a note card. A note card. You guys should go get some note cards made with your logo, your team logo on them. Blank on the inside, boom. Get a couple hundred of those and send those to people. Just thought, when you're proud of them, when they've achieved something, whatever. Okay, let's get back to Teamzy. I just wanted to give you that example of this principle, which is that investing time and connecting with people is the only way to build a relationship, right? The only way to deepen relationships. You got to invest time and connect with people. So what you need is a system. You got to have a system. And Jess said this herself a second ago. She doesn't know anybody that's organized that doesn't have a system to leverage. That's because we're people. We're people. And what I like about this system is, I'll just give you guys a little disclosure about me. I'm a mess. And when it comes to using technology, I get confused easily. In fact, Jay, some of you guys met Jay, Director of Customer Experience at Teamzy. She wanted to change, in Gmail, it's Jaleesa, her full name, she wants it to be Jay. Do you know I spent an hour yesterday on G Suite trying to figure out how to change her name? Like, I'm not good at technology. I need something simple like what I'm going to show you guys. It has to be simple. A way to stay in contact with all your relationships. You got to stay in contact with all your relationships. Know when you're going to contact them. I don't want you to spend all day planning. Spend more time planning than executing, and know what to say so that you're not trying to create the perfect message for half the day if you're like me, right? Know what to say, have an idea what you're going to say going into it, and then make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. Because you guys know what it feels like when you're talking to someone and they say, I'm really interested, and then they say, well, you know, I'm just not ready right now, and you're like, okay, I'll connect with you a little bit later down the road. The next thing you see is that they've signed up on someone else's team. Does that happen to you guys? Yeah, absolutely. It happens to everybody. They fell through the cracks. And if you don't have a system, Jess, you're my example because you spoke up, but I'm in touch with that person. Actually, I haven't talked to them in 6 months. That's why they signed up with somebody else. Okay? So you need a system to keep people from falling through the cracks. Okay, let's actually look at the system now. Where are you, Teamzy? Here we go. Great. So this is the Younique version of Teamzy. Now, one thing I want to say to you guys, if you haven't already done it, is you can get a 30-day free trial for Teamzy. Okay, 30 days free, no credit card, nothing weird like that. We just want you to use it and love it. Okay, so go to teamzy.com and get your 30-day free trial. Get your team on a 30-day free trial. Okay, try it for free. I've been doing this a long time, and I know that anyone who uses it in that 30 days, it will more than pay for itself. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. When you come into your free trial for the very first time, there's going to be a setup wizard to help you set this thing up very easily. Okay, and I know it's not on my screen because I released it, but I can get it back by going up to this little cogwheel on the right, relaunching it. Okay. So the setup wizard makes this very easy. If you guys in your other careers ever used a CRM like Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics, you know how complicated those things are to set up. We can do this really quickly. Okay, so there's 3 things we're gonna do. We're gonna set an income goal, okay? We're gonna create a powerful why, and then we're gonna get your contacts in so you can get super mega organized. So let's get started. First thing that we'll do is we'll set an income goal. Okay, what's the desired income goal for 12 months from now? And I always encourage people, and as you guys show Teamzy to your team, I encourage you to encourage them too, to stretch a little on this goal. Because the truth is that if they only have an hour a day to work on their business and they're using Teamzy, they can get a lot done. Okay, so I always tell people, go for at least 6 figures, just go for it. You know, you can reduce it later. I put in 150. Now, some of you guys, you're Black status leaders, you're doing awesome. You might think, well, how do I set a goal like this? Because there's so much that my team is doing in addition to what I'm doing. What I want you guys to do is think about how much income will I create through my own efforts and through the efforts of the new people that I enroll and sponsor this year, right? So how much income will you create? Make sense? Through your personal volume and your personally sponsored people this year. Okay, so I put in 150. Now what happens, which is kind of cool, is Teamzy calculates about how many people I need to connect with to generate that much momentum into my business. So it's telling me that I need to complete 4,348 connects in the next 12 months. It's a pretty good number, right? 4,348 connects. I'm going to be busy. So how do you take care of a big number like that? You know, I think it was Brian Tracy used to say, if you need to eat an elephant, you do it one bite at a time, right? You do it one bite at a time. All right, so let's get to the next page. The breakdown page will break this down into bite-sized chunks for us. So now I've got my big number of people into 3 groups: prospects, customers, and presenters. Okay, that makes sense. Then it breaks it down yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So now I have that huge number, 4,348 people. How am I going to do that? Now I have a daily target. It's recommending that I connect with 9 prospects every day, 6 current customers every day, and 4 presenters on my team. 19 people a day. By the way, guys, I'm going to recommend that you do the majority of these through Facebook Messenger and text. So how fast do you think I can send 19 texts or 19 messages? I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be huge. Now you can change these numbers. In fact, I have to change this to 10 because 19 will bother me forever. I'd like it to be around 20. What do you think? Yeah. Some of you are wired like me. I can see you smiling. You're just like that. Okay. Then I've also got these minimum goals here. We've defaulted these to 3 because I just know so many teams teach these in 3s. That is inviting 3 people a day and adding 3 people to my list every day. Now, what do I mean by inviting? Just what it sounds like. This is inviting someone to the business opportunity or inviting someone to take a look at some of the products that we offer. Now we're connecting with 19 people a day to create conversations so that we can figure out who's interested and invite 3. It's just a different approach. What this does is that over time, it allows us to invite a lot more people at the point of interest and get much better results from the same list than inviting everybody at the get-go and turning some off. Make sense? Okay. So once you have these numbers where you want them, click continue. And this will create your dashboard goals for you. So no 2 dashboards will really be the same because your goals aren't the same. Okay. Next, finding your why. Finding your why. Now, one of the things that I love about talking to a group of leaders like you guys is that you get this. The fact that 1 out of every 2 people in this business quits in the first 12 months, right? Which is such a bummer because we work so hard to meet people and generate interest and bring people into the business. To watch 50% of them quit in the first year, it's heartbreaking. And have you guys ever thought about why that happens? What is the reason for that? And you know, I'm here to tell you guys, it's pretty simple. We're all quitters. All of us. I mean, I'm talking to a group of very successful leaders, but you guys are also quitters in other areas. I mean, we all are. That's what human beings are. I don't mean any offense by that. It's just the truth. The bottom line is the only reason someone succeeds at anything is because they had a strong reason to. They needed a reason to succeed. The whole idea of willpower, it's a fantasy. It's why power that matters. And you guys know this, and I'm sure you tell your teams, you got to cast your vision. You have to know why you're in this business. You have to figure out what your heart goals are, right? I call it your why. Everyone has different names for it. The bottom line is people struggle with this because they don't know where to start. And then when things get tough, and will they be difficult and challenging at times? Absolutely. They could quit because they don't have a reason not to. They don't have a reason not to. So here's the thing. We've been through all of the classes, read all the books and everything. We just put it into a really simple process inside the Teamzy Setup Wizard. This will help you guys get around your why in your head, and it will help your team do it too, right? Something that's super easy to duplicate. Let me just show it to you really quick. I'm going to take you through my personal story as an example. Obviously yours will be different. So the first question is, and these are like journaling questions. There's just like 4 questions that we're going to ask you just to get your mind thinking about this. Why'd you become a presenter? Like, why'd you start in the business in the first place? Now, my story, when I was in network marketing, I was a Beachbody coach, for those of you who don't know my story. And I became a coach at that time because I had done the programs, lost a bunch of weight, and people were asking me about it, right? And I know probably some of you guys, people were asking you, what are you doing? You look great. Same thing. So I got in the business because people were asking me about what I was doing, and I was excited about what I was doing. That was it. Next question. What do you hope to accomplish? And I remember this very clearly. I really hoped I could make $500 a month extra money. That's really what I wanted to accomplish. Could I make $500 a month extra money? And my sponsor at the time said, oh yeah, absolutely, Eric, you could totally do that. I said, great. I'm so excited about that. So the next question, and I know that a lot of times when you guys talk to people, they give you something like that, right? A couple $100, a little extra money. I'd love to do that. Why is that important to you? Third question. The reason making $500 a month was important to me, and the bottom line is anytime somebody gives you a number like that, there's a reason they picked that number. They may not even know it yet. Just to give you a little background on me, I mentioned in the beginning that I had been working in the industry, the real estate industry, coaching, consulting people's business. And do you guys remember what happened during the Great Recession to real estate? It like disappeared. It was terrifying. And I know probably a lot of you guys were impacted by that recession. It was a difficult time. And I know I live in Southern California in San Diego County, and the real estate market was nuts. And I was telling a group last night, our home overnight lost $300,000 in value. And some of you guys live in places where you're like, wow, $300,000 would buy you a nice house. Like our home lost that much value overnight. It was nuts. So we struggled. It was almost a 7-year period where we struggled. We made it by God's good grace. But we did not save a penny for almost 7 years. Not a penny went into our savings account. And the reason why 500 was the number I wanted was because our accounts had an automatic transfer set up for the 16th of every month. $500 would transfer from my checking account to my savings because that was my savings money, right? And then it would happen every month. And during the recession, I would go in the next day and put it back. And I never turned it off because I felt like someday this is going to be turned on again. So this business was going to do that for me. It was going to let me put that $500 back in the savings account again. So what would achieving this mean for you and your family? This is the 4th question. The next reason why I wanted to save that money was because I really wanted to buy a new house for the family. We had a 3-bedroom home, which was beautiful. We have 4 children now, and we're crowded. We were crowded in that house, and we felt trapped in it too because we were so upside down on the mortgage. But I thought, man, if I could just start saving $500 a month, I could start making some progress and chipping away at that. And maybe we could buy a new house. Okay, so then the last question was, why is that meaningful? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And I remember getting irritated at this, you guys, because, and you're going to go through a similar process. You're going to go through these and go, why am I doing this? This is so weird. you know, why am I bothering with this? But as I thought about why is this meaningful, here's what I came up with. Buying a new home really wasn't that meaningful. It's a little bit shallow, probably materialistic, right? It would be nice, but it wasn't meaningful. But when I thought about how it made me feel, I realized this. Subconsciously, in the back of my mind, I hadn't let myself really feel it or experience it consciously yet. I knew that my life with my family and everything that was going on, the stress about money, that it wasn't healthy. It wasn't that I needed a new house. It was that I knew that my family needed a new home, so to speak, a new way of being. See, I was missing my children growing up. I was completely missing it. I'd get up in the morning, they'd be in their pajamas. I'd say goodbye, go to work. I'd get home at night, they're in their pajamas, put them to bed. My son, Cruz, who was in kindergarten when we started this process of going through this myself, his teacher's name was Mr. Lisa, and every day he would constantly call me Mr. Lisa. He couldn't remember. It never occurred to him to call me Dad until he had done it like 3 or 4 times. I'm sorry, I mean Dad. And it was like getting me right in the heart. You know, you guys can relate to that. I was missing it. And I suddenly kind of had an aha moment going through this process. See, I joined this business to make a few $100 extra bucks a month. Big deal. You can take or leave extra money. But what I realized in about 10 minutes of going through this process of thinking about this was that this business opportunity was actually a way for me to recreate my life. It was a way for me to get out of the rut I was in, where at the top of my industry for 6 years, I hadn't been able to save a penny. That career, working harder in that career was not going to move us to a new home. Does that make sense? But this opportunity was a way to do it. And so what happened was, guys, I literally in 15 minutes went from extra money to, oh my gosh, this could be a way to accomplish everything we want. And that's the same process we want you guys to go through and all of your teams to go through. Because once you get a solid why, even the beginnings of a why, you're much likely to stick to it and stick with it and be consistent and get the success that consistency brings. So the very last box is called My Why. And this is where you take everything that you've thought about and you create a why statement. Here's the why statement that I wrote just 2 years ago. I cannot believe it. It feels like a million years ago. This was the statement I wrote, and it's the sample text in your box. You'll see it there. It's to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. This was my personal why that I wrote 2 years ago, guys. And I have to tell you, this makes all the difference. Now, whatever you put in this box, My Why, and click continue, it'll be saved on your dashboard. So when you come to Teamzy every day to do your connects, you read that. It'll help you when you don't feel like doing it today. It'll help you to go, oh my gosh, this is on the line. I don't feel like doing it for extra money. It's easy to not do it. I don't feel like doing it, but my entire future with my family is on the line. I need to do it, right? There's a big difference because when that why is there, it pushes you through challenges, Okay. So just to kind of just to tie up the story for you guys, I wrote this My Why. I was still working at my corporate job, trying to build my network marketing business on the side. And Teamzy was on the back of a napkin also as an idea that was happening. And within 3 months of writing this down, I left my corporate job, burned the ships, and went for my business. What changed? The intention changed. I knew what I was working for, and it made it easy to focus. Make sense? So why did I just spend 10 minutes on My Why that really has nothing to do with the tracking software? Because I really feel it's so important to help you guys. I know you guys are sold into it, but it's so important to help people that are in this business to get over that hump and continue going till they get to success. Because let's face it, if you just keep going, you're going to make it, right? Okay. So I click continue, that saved in my dashboard. Last thing we're going to do is get our contacts in. I need to speed up. I'm talking too much. We're going to get all our contacts in from the back office. Now, Younique makes it kind of difficult, you guys, but it's doable. You can figure it out. But if you can't, just click the help button on the bottom right of Teamzy, and our team will help you through it. But you got to kind of finagle. There's a video here that helps you do it. You got to finagle your way, get your stuff out of Younique. But basically, we want to get your presenters into Teamzy so that you can deepen those relationships intentionally with them and systematically. And we want to get your customer list in so that we can continue to build those relationships. I'll go a little deeper in that in a second. And then the next thing we're going to do is get your Facebook friends imported. which is pretty cool. So we're gonna get your Facebook friends in. So you're not going through Facebook Messenger trying to like, who do I need to contact or when did I follow up with that person? It's all gonna be in Teamzy. You're gonna be super mega organized. And then anywhere else that you have contacts, you get them in as a CSV. Okay, so this is super easy here. I'll just do one real quick. I've got my Facebook right here. There we go. Do you guys have like 60,000 things in your downloads file like me? Here we go. If you guys could see my whole desktop, you would see that I have about 70,000 files just on the desktop. All right, so now it's ready to import. Great, I can hit continue. And sometimes it wants to see mapping. It doesn't for Facebook. It knows what it's doing. And look, it's already creating all those contacts. Okay, so while it's putting those contacts in my Teamzy account, let me tell you about the next step. The last step for setup is ranking. We're gonna rank everybody on a 5-star system. And you guys know how this works, 5 stars, right? 5 stars is awesome, 1 star, not awesome. We do this because with relationship marketing, you should spend more time with the best people. You should spend more time with the best people, the people most likely to help the business. They should get the priority of your time. And if you don't prioritize your relationships first, it's impossible to prioritize your time. Right? Did you guys get that? You might want to write that one down. If you don't prioritize your relationships first, it's impossible to prioritize your time. There's just no way to do it. Now, what's cool is you're going to go through and rank people in Teamzy, and Teamzy will create your power hour list forever. There's no planning at all. You just turn it on and go. You just turn it on and go. And the cool thing about that is you have it on your phone. I mean, you know, I was picking up my son from school today and I had to wait 20 minutes. You guys ever in that pickup line at school? You just parked for 20 minutes? Do you know that you could have done whole Teamzy power hour in that time from your phone? Okay, so sorry, I want to stay focused. Let me tell you what these ranks mean and then we'll go do it. So 5-star is somebody that's most likely to become a customer or presenter, okay? Or they're already on your team and they're a rock star. 5-star people are going to show up on your up next list every 30 days. Now, I'm going to show you the up next list in a minute, but that's the next person for you to connect with, just to start a conversation with, okay? Now, 4 stars, these are people that are likely to become a customer or a presenter with a little bit of nurturing, okay? Or they're the solid people on your team already. They're going to show up on your up next list every 60 days, every 60 days. So every star adds 30 days, right? 3 stars, they could go either way. A 3-star person could go either way. The vast majority of your contacts will be 3 stars, okay? So don't worry about that. They're gonna show up on your up next list every 90 days, every 90 days. And you guys, when you do your imports into Teamzy, everyone will start as a 3-star, okay? And you just move them up or down from there. 2 stars are getting a little colder. They're on your up next list every 120 days. And then 1 star will never show up on your up next list. They're in Teamzy. You can look them up. You can contact them if you want, but they're not coming up on your up next. They're the people that are very cold. You've moved them all the way down to 1. All right. Don't worry if you didn't get all that memorized. When you're on the team page, you see this little question mark right here? You can pop that and get those definitions at any time. There's a little question mark right here. It's also on your dashboard. That little question mark right there, okay? All right, so after the import, it drops you on your team page. That's where we were. The team page has your entire list. Now, just to clarify, everyone is on your team in Teamzy. It's called Teamzy, right? So whether they're a prospect, customer, or presenter, we consider them part of your larger team. This is your team, your community, okay? So it'll drop you on team page after you import, and it'll be toggled into rank mode, which I'm gonna turn on for you. Rank mode lets you jam down your list and rank people. You just click on them, okay? You just click on them, move them up or down, however you want, okay? Now, if you guys have a huge list, like let's say your Facebook list is 4,000 people. I know that's probably true for every single one of you. And you don't want to go through everybody on your list and rank them. You don't have to. You don't have to. What I do want you to do is scan the list and look for the people you know, the people you feel good about, and rank them higher than 3. Give them a 4 or a 5, okay? Just cherry pick the best people. And then if you see people you don't want coming through, you just trash them, okay? But you just cherry pick the list. Even if you have a huge list, it won't take long to do that. And that's just so that Teamzy has that first cut. It can start prioritizing people for you. Cool? Okay, now we're totally set up. Everything is set up, ready to rock, okay? Now we're gonna do our power hour. Let me just show you around the dashboard really quick, and then we'll jump into our power hour. So If you're looking at your dashboard on the left side here, you've got your, oh, I need to change this to black since I'm with you guys. We'll pretend, I'm pretending I'm black status. Will you guys bestow me honorary black status tonight? Okay. So you can change the rank. That's just fun as you go. Now, your dashboard, we're going to look at that right now. Team, we were just there. Business is like stats and reports and cool stuff. University, that's where you go when you need help. There's videos, FAQs, all kinds of stuff there, okay? My why is right here. That's where it'll be published to read. You can click that to change it. Okay. Now at the top, you've got feedback takes you to a community of other Teamzy users. You can connect with them and talk and stuff. This is your settings up here. Okay. Your search bar, you can look somebody up. It doesn't matter if they're on your, if you want to look them up and not on the dashboard, you just start typing a few letters of their name and it'll bring them up. Okay. Add a new person to your list. You know, I just met somebody, want to add them. I just got a new, someone just messaged me on Instagram. I want to add them. Just click add contact. Puts them right on your list. Okay. Easy peasy. Now, right here are just little cool messages that we want. If we have an important message for you, we'll pop it there every once in a while. And I'll talk about that message in a little bit later. And then today's activities. These are your goals for today. Okay. Connect with 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 presenters. Those are the goals we set together on setup. Invite 3 people to the business, add 3 people to my list. Okay, cool. All right, I've got 0% complete. We're gonna change that in a second. Also, I've got these dailies. These are just things I check to keep myself accountable. Am I doing the things I need to be successful? Am I posting intentionally on social media every day? Am I doing personal development work? Am I using the products? Am I getting some exercise? So I keep my mind and soul sharp. Okay. Now, let me show you the magic. This is the engine room. Who's up next? This is the part about Teamzy that makes it so cool. All right, so here's everything we need to do is right here in this box. Over here is where we log our work. Over here is our list. So I've got 4 lists: prospects, customers, see each tab is a new list, presenters, and follow-ups. 4 lists. This is what I'm gonna work in my Power Hour. I'm gonna work these lists, okay? And we're gonna go in order. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect with 10 prospects. Notice there's only 5 on my list. The up next list only shows you 5 at a time, so you can never get overwhelmed. We're focused on the principle of if you keep your focus small, you can grow your business big. Keep your focus small, you can grow your business big. Honestly, I only wanted it to have 1 name shown, but people rebelled against that because I want you just to have to contact that person. That's what I would do if I could. So the first person on my list is Jay. I'm going to connect with Jay. Now notice at the very top of my browser, I've got Facebook open already in another tab. Okay? Looks like Jay's already messaging me, which is awesome. I've got Facebook open because I'm going to use it to send messages. You still have to send messages through Facebook because Facebook doesn't let anyone else play in their sandbox, but it's still super easy. I'll show you how to do that. Now, before I message Jay, maybe I haven't talked to her in years. Maybe I don't even know who she is. We're just Facebook friends and I can't remember how we met. Does that ever happen? Totally. So I may not know how to break the ice with her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this scripts button right here on the right to get some quick ideas on things I could say to break the ice and start a conversation with Jay. So I'm going to go to Facebook because that's what I'm doing. These are the different types of scripts I can look up. So I've got a few connects here. Connect 1, 2, and 3. I just like the first one. It's my favorite. Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. So simple. Of course, you're going to change the names, right? Because it's just a sample name. And you could say, hey, girl. I'm a guy. I can never get away with that, by the way. But the thing that cracks me up is because you can customize these scripts in Teamzy. The most common customization ever is, hey, girl, replaced for hi, Jane on all these things. It cracks me up. I see it in everyone's scripts. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the script, okay? And I'm going to jump over to Facebook, and I'm going to look up Jay, which she's already messaging me, which is hilarious. And I'm going to message her by just pasting that thing that I just copied to my clipboard. Okay, change the name to Jay. What's today, Thursday? She's doing a webinar. See, look at her message to me, stopping by, say hello, how are you? Hope your day's awesome. She's good training. She works for Teamzy, it's all good. But I'm gonna send her that message. Now, one thing that I do, because I like to move really fast and be super efficient with my time, I don't like to type a lot of notes. So what I do is I just copy this message back and I paste it in my to log it. See, because now we're logging it. We're actually tracking at the same time, which is cool. So I just pasted it back in there. And now what type of communication? It was Facebook. Now watch what happens when I log this, connect. Jay's off my list. I've got 1 now on my scoreboard. And the next person on the list is Gail. And I've got, my list moved up. So now I'm going to go to Gail and I'm going to message her. Guess what, guys? I'm going to just use that same message over and over and over again. How fast do you think I could do that 10 times and change the name? Super fast, right? And the reason why I love that particular script, because it's short and sweet and it's just friendly. It works so well. The response rate on that one for me was better than 50%, which means that if I sent it to 10 people, I'm going to get about 5 conversations going. Pretty cool for 10 minutes of work, right? Okay, so when I'm done going down my prospects list, and this says a 10, then I'm going to move over to my customers list. And I'm going to connect with my customers. The same deal, guys. I can go to scripts. And now when I come in here, they're customer scripts, which is pretty cool. Right? There's some good scripts on here, getting a recommendation to somebody, congratulating somebody on what they're doing or whatever, how are you enjoying the products. This is my favorite connect, though, for a customer or actually a presenter on your team, which is, hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Any of you guys have followed me at all on YouTube or anything, you know that I'm big on the make someone's day mindset. So I just tell them. I build my business on the concept of making people's day. Can I do anything to make yours today? What can I do to make your day? And people are like, oh my gosh, it's so great. But this is such a great way to stay in touch with customers. Why is it so important to stay in touch with customers? And forgive me, you guys, for preaching to the choir, but I've talked to a lot of top network marketers with huge teams. And they confess, I've got thousands of customers, I'm not in touch with them. And this may be some of you guys, but the bottom line is this, you guys. It's so important to be in touch with the customers. Maybe you just didn't because it was overwhelming. You didn't have a system like Teamzy to help you stay in touch. Now you do, so it'll be really easy. But as you're training your teams, they got to be in touch with their customers. It's so important. First of all, they need you. They need your advice. They need your leadership. They need to know what to order and how to use it, right? They need you for that. The bottom line is if you're in touch with customers, they're going to buy more products and they're going to continue using them for longer, right? So if everyone on your team is in touch with their customers, your team volume just tripled. That's good. That's good. Is that good for all of us? Yeah. Now, here's the other thing I want you guys to know, and maybe you know this, but I'm going to give it to you in a succinct way you can share with your teams, and that's this principle. The absolute best, hottest source for a new lead is a current customer. The absolute hottest, best source for a new lead is a current customer. That's true in any business. There's no better way to get a new customer than from a current customer. Remember we talked about how people are designed to be advocates? You guys have somebody who's using these products and loving them. Guess what they're doing? They're already having conversations about them. You've got people who are ready to recommend other people to your business all over the place, just waiting for you to be in touch with them. You've got people who, I've got other people already interested who are ready to become presenters. They just don't know it. This is for you to uncover, to be in touch with people, to find these people, to touch them, to nurture them, right? And then here's one more thing, just one more tip. I promise, my partners were just harassing me on this because I haven't done a training in a long time. I'm going to do a training in the month of, what month are we in? I'm going to do it this month. In the month of June, I will do a training and I will invite you guys to it. And it's going to be on how to actually multiply your current customers. I'll do an hour long on this topic. Okay. But you got to get introduced to those people that your customers are talking to. That's why it's so important to stay in touch with them. If you guys are watching this right now, Black Status Studettes, and you've got 5,000 customers that you haven't talked to, don't worry. But you are sitting on a gold mine. We're going to start connecting with them. You guys are going to start breaking all records for new sponsors and stuff like that. Watch. Mark them. Okay. So we're going to go down our customer list. Connect with our customers. Just again, just a quick message. Not a big deal, just a quick message. Okay. And then when we've got our 6 done, we're going to go to presenters. We're going to connect with our team. This is why it's called Teamzy. We're going to build relationships one-on-one with our team. Okay. And let me just tell you guys something. Having a Zoom call, having a Facebook thing, having a retreat once a year for your top people is great. But when people get a text or a text message from you, like every 3 months, just checking in, how are you? Especially when you're a very successful person they look up to, it means the world. I can't even tell you. And when I talk to people who are successful in their own right, and I ask them how it would feel to hear personally from their sponsor, who's like big muckety muck, I often see people getting teary-eyed and emotional just thinking about that possibility. So guys, now that you have the system, do it the right way. Stay in touch with those people one-on-one, and you will see that percentage, that 50% quitting in the first year, start to shrink. It's just like, you know, when I teach people who own businesses outside of network marketing how to treat their employees, you know how many employees stay in their job for the way they're treated as opposed to how much they're paid? The same thing's true.
Starbucks, ChickfilA.
Right? Oh my gosh. I love the people. How come the people at ChickfilA are so happy everywhere you go? Anyways.
They get treated so good.
See?
I mean, I'm just saying, don't they get like school money? And I mean, they get treated like really well.
I don't know. Well,
I don't think anybody like aspires to be a Chick-fil-A person, but once I worked there in high school and I was like, I don't want to get a real job. That place was awesome.
How would you have felt if you got a text from the CEO every once in a while asking how your day was going?
I probably would have never left Chick-fil-A.
So that's where you guys are. You guys are the CEO, right? So we're going to connect with our presenters. Okay, so we're going to prospects, customers, presenters. When we're done with all those goals, guys, so we've got, in this example, it'd be 10, 6, and 4, done. Now we're going to go to the fourth list, which is follow-ups. Oh, but we don't have anybody in follow-ups yet, which will happen to you like the first day, and that's it, right? Then you'll have people in here. Let me show you how people get on the follow-ups. So for example, we sent all those messages out, 20 messages. I guess my guess is it would probably take you about 30 minutes to do that. Okay? And what's amazing is people are responding, and you're still sending the messages. Just finish sending the messages. People are responding, and they want to, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, so great to hear from you. And these conversations are starting. It gets a little overwhelming at times, but in a good way. So you're messaging back and you're having these great conversations. Oh my gosh, what are you up to? How have you been? What's going on with your life? You know, yeah, I just had a baby. Oh, you just had a baby? I just had a baby, right? All this stuff. And then you're having these great conversations, and some of these conversations will fizzle out pretty quick. It was great to catch up with you, right? Some will keep going. Some will go off in a different direction. Some will be clearly not interested in your business right now, but it's great to catch up. And all of it's good, you guys, because every time that we build a relationship, we're moving somebody closer to being an advocate for our business. Okay? And it's just the right thing to be. It's just the way we should be with people. Now, every once in a while, out of those 10 conversations, though, there are going to be a few that are like, oh my gosh, I've been watching you on Facebook. I saw your video last week. That's amazing. The new liquid, you know, the liquid stuff, like that stuff is unbelievable. Like, what colors does that come in, right? So you're starting how, right? She's laughing because she knows this is exactly how it happens. So we're having a conversation, and it's like, you know,
happened to me.
So in my example with Jay, I sent Jay the message. So we're having this conversation, and she's like, tell me more about that. And I was like, you know, oh, it's so awesome. The products are great. And she's like, so are you actually like doing this? Like, is this your business? Yeah, I'm doing it. I don't have, you know, this is my full-time gig. She's like, wow, that's really interesting. So now maybe Jay is ready to be invited to learn more about the business. She's intrigued. And so I say, well, you know, Jay, we've got a team opportunity call tonight. If you're interested in learning more, I can send you the information on that. You can tune in, and I can just check in with you tomorrow, see if you have any questions. She says, oh, Eric, that would be great. Great. So let me show you guys how to turn the conversation that we were having into an invite in Teamzy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look Jay up because she's not on my dashboard anymore. I already connected with her, right? So I'm going to look her up, and that's going to bring me to her contact record. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to log another connect with her, but this one's a special type. It's invite. So see where it says invite down here? I'm going to click that, and I'm going to select the type. In this case, it was an opportunity call. Okay. So now I'm just going to put a note because I don't have anything to paste. Okay, so that was an opportunity call. Now, I'm going to send her an email with that information on the opportunity call. And what did I tell her I'd follow up with her? Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. But my follow-up says default. Default for Jay as a 5-star is 30 days. You have to set a follow-up. Now, setting a follow-up, I'll set it for tomorrow. You can choose anything, including a custom date. I'm going to set it for tomorrow. When I set a follow-up for tomorrow and log it, see how it's set now on follow-ups? That moves Jay to my follow-ups list. Now she's there. Okay. So as I'm connecting with people, they're just staying in this, they're churning through the prospects list, they're churning through the customers list, they're churning through the presenters list. When I have a reason to follow up, I set a follow-up, and now they move temporarily over to my follow-ups list. And I will keep them on the follow-ups list for as long as I'm following up with them before I release them back into the other lists. Make sense? Okay, so let me show you how this works. So now it's tomorrow. Jay went to the opportunity call, and I'm following up like I promised. Now, a couple things. Again, I know you guys know the fortunes in the follow-up, right? You guys have heard that a million times. I'm going to throw a couple stats at you guys, and hopefully you get your pens out, because this stuff's going to be really good for you to teach your teams too. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. Have you guys heard that one before? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. Not just in this business, in all business. I'm going to explain a little bit why that is, because there's a psychological reason for it. But it's just a good reason to know that we need to follow up. Now, how many guys, now I'm talking to leaders here, but how many of you guys follow up, would you say 10 times consistently? Does anyone do that?
I follow up now. I used to follow up like 5 or 6 times, but I'm like of the mindset now, like I'm gonna follow up till they say yes.
Yeah.
And keep following up.
Keep following up. So she's an unfair advantage because she's been using Teamzy 2 weeks now, so her whole world's
it's true.
her whole world is going on that. But here's the thing with this, guys. Just want to talk to you guys about this for a second. Most people don't follow up 10 times. Most people, you know, you've got someone like Jess who's successful. She follows up 5 times. Guess what? 5 times misses the vast majority of sales. And I'm going to explain the psychology behind that in a second. But I want you guys to think about this for a second. A lot of times people don't follow up just because they feel like they're being a nag or they're being a pest, right? I think that's—
I get that from people on my team a lot. That's like a ton. That's by far the number one block is I don't want to be pushy or I don't want to seem yucky. And my response is always, so don't. Like, don't be yucky or salesy. Just be genuine. But it's still really hard to get over that if you don't have like specific words to say or how to start a conversation or when is it appropriate to follow up.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Well, luckily we're going to give them the words here in a second. But the mindset I want you guys to get on that is this. If you're giving somebody a business opportunity that could change their life, I'm going to explain to you guys in a second that most people will not respond at all to the first 5 or 6 follow-ups. Most people won't, because that's the way our psychology is hardwired in our brains. So what that means is this life-changing opportunity that you guys have experienced, right? You guys have experienced it. For this person can only happen if you follow up more than they're already programmed to ignore. Which means following up isn't annoying, it's actually an act of love. Following up is an act of love. If you love people enough to help them be successful, the only way you can do it is by following up more. And so I always encourage people as they're thinking like, I'm a pest or I'm a nag or I don't want to be pushy, like write it down on a sticky note. Following up is an act of love, and stick it on your computer screen to remind yourself that if you are following up, you're loving on people. And if you fail to follow up, you are communicating, I don't care enough about you to follow up with you. And it's kind of a harsh truth, but it's true. Following up is an act of love. Now, a couple things. I'm going to teach you guys in a second 2 principles that will allow you to follow up without ever being annoying. You can follow up 1,000,000 times without ever being annoying. Okay, and it's 2 easy principles you can teach your team that maybe they don't have the same just natural ability to do this that you have. But first I want to talk to you really quick about why it is people won't respond to follow-ups. So basically you've got this, the subconscious mind, which is there to defend and protect us, right? How many of you guys have ever gotten home from work or something and not realized how the heck you did it? Have you guys ever driven somewhere and been like, how did I get here? Just because your subconscious mind took over. Managed to stop at stoplights, a whole thing. It's amazing, right? How you can do that stuff. Your mind is amazing, but it is also designed to protect you, to keep you safe. And what it hates is change. What it hates is instability. What it hates is the scary new stuff. And what is it you guys are bringing to people? A new, amazing, scary opportunity, right? So however excited they are when they're talking to you about the opportunity, as soon as they walk away from you, their subconscious starts saying, we're not doing that. Are you kidding me? That's not safe. Stay at your job. You'll never get ahead, but it's safe. At least you won't die. You could die if you do this. Like, this is the stuff that starts happening in their subconscious. Now, this is all happening behind the scenes. So what happens is they get a follow-up from you and they're like, oh. And then they're like, oh no, the baby just spit up. I can't deal with this right now. I gotta go do that. Right? And then the next day when you follow up again, they're like, oh yeah, and then what is happening over here? They find stuff to keep them busy, to not respond and not get engaged with you. This is the way people are wired. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with the opportunity. It doesn't have anything wrong with them. They're normal. Their brain is protecting them from scary. The reason why 80% of all sales happen after the 7th follow-up is because the follow-ups are reprogramming the subconscious mind to accept the opportunity. The follow-ups are actually, and if you do it in a way, like I'm going to teach you, where it's cheerful and it's fun and it's loving, then the follow-up, when they see the follow-up, there's a positive emotional response to it, and they're reprogramming the brain. Oh, unique opportunity. Smile. She smiles every time she sees that. Maybe it's not so scary. And we're reprogramming the mind so that you are available and present when they're ready to accept the opportunity. This is why following up works, by the way. Isn't it crazy? Okay, so let's get into this. I'm going to give you 2 principles so that you never are annoying when you follow up. This will allow you to follow up a million times and not be annoying, okay? Principle number 1, never ask someone to do anything in the follow-up. Never ask someone to do anything in the follow-up. What do I mean by that? Please call me back. Lauren, hey, can you call me when you have a minute? I have a question for you. Isn't that the most annoying voicemail I could leave you? Yeah. Don't ask me to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask me to text you. Don't ask me to answer. Could you just buy your kit for crying out loud? No, just nothing. Don't ask me to do anything. Principle number 2. Send your follow-ups via text or message, okay? And keep them short enough that they can be read on the notification screen so they don't have to open your message, okay? Keep your message short enough that they can read it on the notification screen without opening it. Why? Because they don't want you to know they've seen it yet, because we're not planning on responding yet. Okay, how many of you guys do that? All right, and how annoyed are you when it keeps going and you're like, I have to open it to read all of it. Dang it. Right? And if it's not that compelling, you're like, I'll still do it later, right? We're making it easy on people, guys. We're just going to make it easy on them. So those are the 2 principles. Don't ask them to do anything. Keep it short and sweet. Now, I'm going to give you examples right now on how to do this. But your follow-ups are going to reconnect them to the hope and excitement they had when they talked to you about the opportunity for a split second. And we're going to do it every day or every couple of days for a while until they're really ready. Make sense? This works so great, by the way. And it's fun. You're going to spend 2 seconds on people and you're not going to sweat it anymore when they don't respond the first 3 or 4 times. Let me show you how to do this in Teamzy. Now, one of the cool things for Younique is we already have all the scripts in there. We didn't have scripts when we launched this a year and a half ago. You have all the scripts. When I go into follow up with Jay, I can go to scripts and I can find all 10 follow-up scripts in here. Okay? So your team won't even have to think about this. Now you can change these and you can make them sound more like you if you want, or you can just use them as they are. Okay? Every single one of these scripts are scripts that I personally use a lot myself, and they work word for word. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? This is follow-up number 1. This is my favorite follow-up script of all time. And every word is chosen here to work a certain way. So just checking in is just so non-threatening, right? I'm just checking in. Like I don't really have a reason. I'm just checking in. Like I promised I would. Remember I told you I would check in today? I'm doing it. I'm fulfilling a promise. This is how much I love you. And I'm keeping my promises to you. I'm depositing in your trust account, right? What questions do you have for me? Because I told you that's what I would be looking for is your questions. Simple. 2 sentences. Bam. I'm going to copy that script. I'm going to send it to Jay. Okay? Go over to Jay. I'll send it to Jay. Change the name. I didn't because I'm too lazy. She doesn't care. She works for me. She's not going to complain. Okay, now when I log that follow-up, you see how quick it is, right? Make sure you set the next follow-up. Make sure you set the next follow-up. Make sure you set the next follow-up. I know you guys aren't my kids, but that usually works. If you don't set the next follow-up, she's falling off your follow-up list. You need to keep her on there. I'm going to set the next follow-up. I'm actually going to follow up again tomorrow. Okay, so when I log that one, now she's on my list again for tomorrow. Tomorrow when I'm doing my follow-ups, there she is again. If you don't remember what your last follow-up was, you click activity to see your activity. Okay, I'm going to go back to connect. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go to the next one, scripts. Follow-up number 2. Just making sure you got my email. Check and see if you have any questions. Next day. Hi, Jay. I'm excited about the goals we discussed. Can't wait to get started. Next day. Hi, Jane. Just staying in touch so I can help you achieve your goals. Next day. Hi, Jane. I hope you're doing well. I'm here when you're ready. Boom, 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 boom. I am top of mind every day with a smile for Jane. Jane, whichever one we're talking to. Okay? And right around follow-up number 6. Follow-up number 6 is a little bit longer because this, I feel like, is the crux. This is usually when someone will respond to you. Hi, Jane. I know you're excited about getting started, and I promise to be here to help you along the way. Do you have any questions for me? So we're reiterating her excitement and your promise to love her through this process, right? And this is usually where you'll get a response that says something like, oh, man, I'm so sorry I haven't responded. You're so awesome. Thank you so much for being so great. I really appreciate you really staying in touch with me. Your consistency is amazing. You're going to get like these kudos that kind of blow your mind because you think they're not interested, right? Because they haven't been responding. That's typically what happens. And then you think that you're close to them buying or joining the team. And that's when you realize at number 6 that they're like, let me take a look at that original email you sent me now. Right? And that's all good, you guys. That's part of the process. You just keep going through this process. You know, by now we're like on day 6, you're going to have like 12 people on this follow-up list. If you've been doing Teamzy every day, you're going to be going through, people are at different stages, just following up, churning through it, just going through, helping as many people as you can, staying organized through Teamzy and just going through. And then what happens is at some point I'm in back office and I see, bam, she did it. Jay purchased and she's in. So now how do I complete her, move her off my follow-up list and put her in on my team? I'm going to look her up. Okay. I'm going to complete the sale by clicking the sale button. She got a presenter kit. Great. Save that. So now Teamzy knows that all of those follow-ups resulted in a sale of a presenter kit, which is awesome. And then the other thing I'm doing, I could take her off my follow-up list if I want to by putting that back to default. And then see where it says member type and she's a prospect. I'm going to now just click presenter. Now she's moved onto my team. Personally sponsored. Now you've got other things like upline, sideline, downline. These are for your friends or for your team that you want to like, you know, the people that you want to stay in touch with that aren't your personally sponsored people. You can label that way so that they're still on your list. So now Jay is moved. When I come onto my dashboard, she won't be here anymore. She's going to be on this list. She's going to come up on my presenters list now because she's moved to my team. That makes sense? And that's how you do it. I mean, that's basically how you do it. You connect with people, you set a goal, you create a bunch of conversations. You have those conversations, which is fun. And from those conversations, you figure out who's got some interest. Then you get them, you invite them, right? Then you follow up like a pro. Rinse it and repeat every day. It's so much fun, right? And so duplicatable. Okay. I know that I only showed you guys like pieces of Teamzy. I just wanted you to get the gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys ask me questions if you have any. Just unmute yourselves and ask away. And I don't know, is there anything in the chat? No, it doesn't look like there's anything in the chat to catch up on. Okay, so do you guys have any questions?
I would just like to share really quick with everybody what I've been doing to like keep track of customer orders. Because I feel like there's not really a place for that. When I first started it, I was like, I don't really feel like there's a place for this because when you hit the sale button, it says presenter kit or other, right? And there's nowhere like when you click other to write before you save. Yeah. Which I think would be amazing if that got added in. But I've been putting it in notes. Like I just put the notes like what they ordered there. Yeah. And then I add tags for their products. So say next month we're having like a kudos special on foundation. Or so like everybody here will know, like the Flawless 4. So when we did that kudos, like you can go in your email, search Flawless 4, pull up everybody who ever ordered that from you, pull them up in Teamzy, add that tag. So when we have that special again, you can just search that tag and it will pop up. So that's how I'm keeping track of orders, because I know a lot of people are asking me that, like, hey, how are you doing that? Is this CRM for that? Like, it's not made for that, but you can implement that here. And I think it's super helpful. That's been working for me a lot.
Thank you. She's absolutely, that's exactly how I would recommend you do it too, is using tags. You can add tags to people and the tags group them. That's exactly what I had done in my business. Was when they ordered a product, I put that as a tag on their record. And then I could look at them and say, here are all the products this person ordered. And then anything that was similar or new products that were similar to that, I would pull up that tag list and message everyone on the list. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Like, hey, there's something new coming out. You're going to love it. Check this out. So,
Eric, when you press the activity feed button, if someone has if you have marked a sale, will that show up in the activity feed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I was wondering that just because nobody's popped back up, like, because I've just been only using it for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like I think actually starting tomorrow is when I have like follow-up set from orders placed the first day when I started using it.
Cool. Well, what I was going to show you is when you go to details, your tags will be there too. So if you're on the dashboard and you want to see tags and notes, it's all there for you.
I see.
You can also move somebody, like if I saw Gail come up on prospects, I'm like, she's actually a customer now. I can just click that and move her to the other list.
Right.
So I can do all that here on the dashboard. Obviously, if I go to their, now if you're looking at somebody on the dashboard and you want to go to their full record, you just click them over here and it takes you to their full record. On the full record, everything's there. You've got tags, your follow-ups, your member types, right? Your notes and your activity feed are all here. And all their details. But, and your tags are over here. So I've got one so far, it's Facebook friends. So if I click that, everyone with that tag is on the list. So it's kind of,
I didn't ever, well, that's good to know. I didn't see that they show up over there on the left. So.
Oh yeah. And when you have multiple tags, now my Younique account I haven't done too much data in it, but if you have multiple tags, you can also go up here and you can add tags right here and just search by all the tags you want, and it'll bring that list down. So if you wanted people with 2 tags, it would bring you down to that list. So the tags let you filter your list. So your list is automatically filtered by recent ads. Those are the new people you've just recently added. So when you add people in, you want to go and message them. Prospects, customers, presenters, and follow-ups. It's already sorted by those, but as you add tags, you create your own little sorts. You can sort anything.
Right.
So I know, real simple things, but, in my years of business coaching, I always had people creating lists in their CRM. Things like who are military or veterans, right? Because there's a few times a year where you send them a special message and it is meaningful to them, especially when it is a personal message. Let me just ask you guys a question, just so you guys get your head around what we're doing here. Putting a beautiful post up for Veterans Day on Facebook or Instagram is cool, but how cool would it be if all the veterans in your life got a text that day just saying, thinking of you today, proud of you, thank you for all you've done for us? How meaningful would that be? How many personal texts do you think that they get? Or messages on Facebook? So I'm telling you guys this because it's like we talked about the personal note card and what an impact that has, but don't underestimate how important a personal message is. It's just kind of rare. And you guys maybe don't think it is because you're active and you're messaging with 25 people a day, but it is rare for most people. So you can really make an impact.
I always wonder that, like, are we the only ones really on Messenger like all the time? And then when other people like get a message, maybe sometimes they don't respond right away because they're not on it like us. Like they don't check their Messenger the way we do. Like they just check it like once every 3 days or something, like our voicemail.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not on it.
That's
I
definitely.
still am getting people that says invite to Messenger. I'm like, what? They're not on Messenger? Like, what's wrong with this person? You know, it's crazy. Like, now that you say that, I really think that I've actually had people say that to me over the past week and a half. Like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm just getting your message. I don't check this that often. I'm like,
yeah.
What world are you living in? Like, Messenger is life. I answer Messenger before text messages now. Like, that's just where I spend a ton of my time.
Yeah. I think we're all probably that way, but I mean, there are definitely messages, you know, people they go into their other messages for days.
Yeah.
But you know,
oh yeah,
it's all good. I mean, the thing is you're going to miss people. You know, you're connecting with people on your list. People aren't going to get some people aren't going to get your message right away, but you're just going to keep working the list and it's going to all wash out, you know?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions, or was I just really that good?
I have a question. So how would you utilize this best to work with your team? That's where I feel like I struggle probably the most, is trying to figure out, like, oh my goodness, I forgot about this person. Or so how would you utilize this the best in working with, you know, your new girls, and then your girls that are pushing for promotions, and then, you know, the ones that are kind of on the fence? I mean, they bought a kit, but maybe they would do the business. Like, how would you for that?
Okay, so there's a couple ways you could attack this. One is you just connect with people as they come up on the Teamzy list under presenters every day, which will actually get you through your list a lot more often than you think. But other ways that you could do it, I mean, you can play with the number ranking. You can give people 5 stars if you want to talk to them more often. Maybe your 5 stars are your rock stars and your brand new people. Or the other thing that you could do, and we were just talking about this with products, is you could create tags where you have a tag group of people that you specifically are talking to on a certain day. Okay. You know, like maybe every Wednesday you want to talk to the people who are just about to get to the next level of promotion. And maybe every Tuesday you want to connect with your brand new people. I mean, I don't know, you create a system like that, and then you you hit that tag and you just message those people. You know, like when I was teaching real estate people to be successful, it was really simple. It was like, we check in with our buyers on Tuesdays and our sellers on Fridays. And they would go through the whole list. And it's like, what if I have nothing to tell them? Then you're calling to say, hey, I'm just calling to check in to tell you I have nothing to tell you. And they're going to think you're the greatest real estate agent on the planet. And that was the case. So, right? And so as you guys get consistent with these relationship investing in your team, you're going to blow their minds, but you'll also be present when they need you. So, and it won't take a lot of your time. You know what I mean? Because if you're constantly in touch, you're on your end, like you're initiating the touch, it doesn't take much time. But if you wait till they all need you, then it's like you can't do anything else. Make sense? Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure thing. So, okay, let me just say one thing to you guys about this. First and foremost, you know, you should get your whole team on the 30-day free trial. Okay, those of you guys who aren't on the free trial, you need to get a success partner to do it with. Okay? Get a success partner to do your free trial with you. Hey, you want to do this with me for 30 days? Every single day, when you finish your dashboard, you get this, you crushed it message from Teamzy. Screenshot that and message it to your success partner. Every single day. Hold each other accountable. You guys will get so much out of this. Now, one more thing I want to talk to you guys about, which is Younique is still in a beta period. Now, there's not a lot of beta testing because the program is pretty much finished, but we call it a beta because we want to hear from you. We want to get suggestions on how to make it better for Younique. And so everybody that joins in that first 6 weeks is considered part of our beta group. And we want them in there and helping us to refine and improve this for you guys. So as a thank you, at the end of that beta program, we give those people an opportunity to become a founding member, which means that you guys will get a better price than anyone else will ever get for Younique. So the reason I'm telling you this is because it's a big difference. Teamzy's $29.99 a month for an ongoing subscription, okay? But the founder's rate is $19.95. It's like a third off, and we never, ever discount Teamzy. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is you want to get your team into the trial now so that if they love it, they can get that discount. Why wouldn't they? They have to sign up for a subscription before the 17th of June. June 17th, 2007.
The 16th. The 17th?
The 17th is the last day.
Okay. I was telling everybody the 16th.
That's fine. You get your people in a day early. They're good, right? The reason I'm going to say it one more time, June 17th, 2017, is because people will be watching this video a year from now going, this is awesome. Oh, wait. So that expires June 17th, 2017, and we don't discount Teamzy because we don't need to. The value is there, but take advantage of that. So your team can join at any point. They get 30 days free, but they set up a subscription before the 17th. They won't get billed until their free 30 days is over, but they'll have the subscription locked in at that price. Does that make sense? So it's a really good opportunity to get people in. And when we launch a network, we usually see like on that deadline day, like 3,000 people will join because they're like, hey, I might as well lock it in. So we encourage you guys to encourage your team to, if, start using it and love it. If they love it and like it, they should get the best price for it. Make sense? So.
And just like Eric was saying, I've noticed with my team, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks and probably only have like 15 girls signed up. We do treat them like customers and following up with them every day and telling them about it. And, we have 11 days left before. So that's, if you start today, enough time to get them signed up by the 17th, June 17th of 2017. Yeah. And then your business is going to boom because everybody's going to be using Teamzy and blowing it up. So I can't stress enough how just myself and the 14 or 15 girls on my team that are using it. I wish I had started using it at the beginning of May when I heard about it instead of like in the middle of May, because my May probably would have been a lot different. So I would have ended probably way different. So I just love Teamzy.
We love you too. So there it is, you guys. I really hope you guys, you've been with me a long time tonight, so there must have been a few things you liked. Hopefully, if it resonates with you, you guys will use it and enjoy it. I mean, we built this system to be loved. We want you guys to love it, use it, build your business. We know that you're going to make an impact in a lot of lives, and that's what our passion is. Our passion is to help people, but we help the helpers, which means that we get to have a huge impact. Does that make sense? So I really hope you guys will take advantage of that 30-day free trial. Get yourself a success partner to do it with you so you don't sign up and blow it off, because that's such a bummer. And then get your teams going. I'll give you guys the recordings. I'll give Jess the recording to this call so you can have it. You can share it with your teams so they can get this training. Also, I want you guys to know, if you want to schedule a private training where we go through the same training with your team or teams, we can do that, okay? We just ask that you bring 25 people to the call, so it's worth our time. So if you guys want to do that with your team or combined teams, that's cool. Just message us at support@teamzy.com and we'll set that up for you guys. Sound good? All right, you guys, have an awesome night.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. God bless.
Bye.
Thank you.